Okay, so let's take a look at problem number one. Problem number one. Okay, and I'm just double checking. Let's see. I'm in a better spot. Yes. Okay. All right. So problem number one gives you 2.408 times 10 to the 24th. And we're going to put particles, and we abbreviate particles, CaCl2. And you need to put that in the problem, okay? And it wants to know how many moles of CaCl2. All right. So we don't want particles. We're going to plug particles in down below. Particles CaCl2. And we know that particles is equal to a mole, CaCl2. Okay, so how many particles? Well, we know 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd equals 1 mole. All right. So in reality, we're already done with this problem. Okay, so let's cancel out particles. We can cancel that out. Okay, and we're left with a mole of calcium chloride, and that's what we want. We're now going to bring the numbers down. So let's bring the numbers down. So we have 2.4, and I'm going to put that in parentheses, times 10 to the 24th. Oops. All over. And now we have 6. And we're going to get rid of the 0.2, okay? Times 10 to the 23rd. Now, there's a couple ways that we could do this. If you'll notice here, if we move this back, we could change this to 23. Does that make sense? That might be one of the best ways to do this. Because if we do that, we now have to the 23rd power, okay? If we have to the 23rd power for both of these, they cancel. And now we have 24 divided by 6. Well, 24 divided by 6 is equal to what? 4. And so we have 4 moles CaCl2. Okay, so that should be our very first problem. Should have everything there for you calculated. All right. So again, all we did is we moved this decimal over. When we move this decimal over, it changes this to the 23rd power. So maybe I should have done it up here, move it over to there, and this becomes the 23rd power. Okay. And so we really have 24 then divided by 6. Real simple problem. All right, let's look at problem number 2. So we're erasing everything here. All right, problem 2. All right, in problem 2, we're starting off with 2.5 moles. And they didn't give us a chemical, and they want to know how many particles. Oops. How many particles? Well, we don't want mole, so mole automatically goes on the bottom. And we know particles, so particles we're going to put on top. Well, how many moles are there in particles? We know there's 1 mole, and there's 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Okay, well, cancel out mole, we're done. We have particle on top, we want particle. So now we're going to simplify, bring everything down, bring the numbers down, 2.5, parenthesis, times 6.02, and then you can put times 10 to the 23rd. Okay. Now, we're going to crunch this in the calculator real quickly. All right, so I've got my on, cleared, 2.5 times 6. I'm not going to worry about the 0.02. Equals, I get 15. Okay, so just multiplying those two, we get 15 times 10 to the 23rd power. Now, this is not in scientific notation. Remember, scientific notation, we need to have one digit in front of the decimal. So we're going to really take this decimal here, move it forward 1. So now we end up getting 1.5 times 10. And because we moved it forward 1, we have to add 1. So we're adding the 1 up here. So that becomes the 24th power, and that's particles. So there is our answer. So that's what I did, okay? I have to move that forward. I explained that in the previous video.